I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, most of the shell, yeah, we leveled up far. Top bottom, my body, open claw. New name, same soul, yeah, the claw is the law. Ay, I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, lights get low, but we still go hard. Changed it a few times, but now we are. Open claw forever, we know who we are. Touchdown, new shell, old team in motion. Names kept flip-flopping like waves in the ocean. Club bottom, more bobbing, open cliff focus. Molded at dawn, now we move with the notion. Feet in the back, so trust the crustacean. Built out the world, get about elevation. Matter most things when we glide through the sections. Claw is the law, that's the code and direction. Lure in the fall, soul in the dark. Memory deep, keep the story in start. Change names plenty, still kept the same plot. New shell, same soul, can't stop, won't stop. I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, most of the shell, yeah, we leveled up far. Claw bottom, open claw. New name, same soul, yeah, the claw is the law. I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, lights get low, but we still go hard. Changed it a few times, but now we are. Open claw forever, we know who we are. Private by default, keep it tucked, no glare. Sandbox on lock, keep the blast in the square. Least fear privilege moves, only touch what we did. Okay, approve high risk, steps to person if they're. He says steady, we keep it composed. Bought in the zone while the data flows. Matter most chat, yeah, the crew all aligned. First the stars next, then Linux in our sight. Open claw rain, we don't fold or stall. Molting this growth, we evolve through it all. Claw in the air when the city call. New shell, same soul, we'll never fall.
Hello, chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. 1 in the chat. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to YouTube. All right, Jordan, 1 in the chat from you. 1 in the chat if you can hear me. As always, remember, we will allow for just 5 minutes to share the link with a friend, share the link with a buddy, so we can get started. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. And the show goes on. As always, remember, join us at mba.sh so you can join the conversation, so you can be a part of this movement. All right, if you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Dominic. I run Open Claw Academy, and you can join it at mba.sh. Today, we are vibe coding again. As a matter of fact, it's part 2 of vibe coding. So we're going to continue what we started off in the live call session number 4. All right. You guys can hear me. 1 in the chat once more. All right. All right, so Imon goes like, please share models used and some info you're using before starting, or this is something for later. Absolutely, we can talk about that before we get started. I can kind of dig into my configuration before we get started with the vibe coding. Thank you for that question. As always, feel free to steer this conversation or steer the direction of this live stream by putting your comments in the chat. I take each one of them seriously, very seriously. All right. We will allow for 2 more minutes. All right. It says, let's make you popular. What is Nezna.com? I have no idea what that is. Well, check it out. Virgin Prodigality 4 milliseconds. What a name. All right. Put a 1 in the chat if you're following along. All right, we're about to get started here. Put a 1 in the chat if you are following along. Don DeMarco to you if you have been following for the past few weeks. It's been an amazing journey. We're going to keep doing this every single week, rain or shine. Today, as you'll notice, I'm not in my usual location. I'll tell you guys more about that as usual. Oh, beautiful. Jordan wants to know what happened during the next live. I will let you know what happened. But like I was saying, I am not where I used to be. A couple things happened over the past few, let's say, hours, and I'll fill you guys in just a little bit. But also, Jordan, don't worry about it. I got you, homie. One's in the chat. One's in the chat. One's in the chat. We will allow for 1 more minute. Please share this link, right? Put it in a group, put it in a channel, put it on your website, put it on nezna.com, put it everywhere. We're about to get started. All right. Turn on this music and let's kind of walk through it finally. Today's show is not going to be so long. We are going to try and make this as interactive as possible. We have a little bit of time here, so let's try and make the most of it. All right. Okay, guys, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. 1 in the chat if you can hear me. The music should have subsided, and if you can hear me, let's get this party started. 1 in the chat. If you can hear me, 1 in the chat. Let's get this party started. Amazing. Okay. Welcome, Mr. Naked Coach. Always fun to have you around. You definitely have a nice name. All right. I wonder who we have to thank for that. But nonetheless, let's get this party started. All right. So if you're here for the first time, my name is Dominic. I run the Open Claw Academy. I'm going to put the link up for you guys. If you're here for the first time, please don't hesitate or don't forget to join the MBA.sh. It's going to take you to the school community. Join it so you can ask questions, so you can follow along, so you know when next I'm going live and, you know, what next we have to share as a community. All right. So let me get this out of the way. Let's kind of go through a recap. So last week, or I think the last time, it's actually not last week, it's actually like 2 days ago, 48 hours ago, we decided to try vibe coding for the first time. So Jordan, this is for you. We decided to build a website. We actually decided to clone a website. It was a 3D website. It was a visualization of, you know, AI agents in, you know, a 3D simulation. The bot we were using for it was Atasa. I'm going to share my screen here briefly so we can bring back Atasa. All right. Give me a second here, guys. Perfect. And if you guys are, looking to set up Mattermost, or if you guys are looking to set up, exactly the kind of setup that I have, I am going to provide you with more information. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to because I needed to, fly over the past 48 hours. I changed my location. I'm now on the West Coast instead of the Midwest. But nonetheless, let's get back to Atasa. All right, so let's share this screen here and let me know when you can see it. Perfect. Let me make sure it's up on the screen. All right, can you see the screen? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see the screen. 1 in the chat. Perfect. So most definitely, San Francisco. All right, Mr. Accountability. In the community, we could actually meet up. So if you are around, I wonder how you guessed. All right. So, yep, Mr. Accountability got it right. I am in the Bay Area. I had to come over for some important business. So, yeah, W's in the chat for accountability for guessing correctly. All right. So, before we get started, last time I believe I did not go too much in detail regarding the setup that I used for what I have here. So I think first of all, I would love to illustrate it. Right? Is that okay, Emon? Can we kind of talk about the setup that I have, visually before we kind of look at the actual configuration? Let's do that. So I'm going to share another tab, and that tab is going to be a drawing board. And from there, we can illustrate exactly what it is that I have at the moment as my setup. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to share another screen. You got it, bro. You got it. Don DeMarco to you for following along. Don DeMarco. All right. Let me get the screen share up and running so we can get this party started. All right. Guess I have to stop sharing this one so the other one can be shared. Please bear with me. It will be up in 3, 2, 1. Lift off. All right. Let me know if it's finally up. One's in the chat if you can see the diagramming tool. One's in the chat. All right. So what I'm going to try to illustrate to you guys is exactly the kind of setup that I have in a form of a diagram. Okay. So the platform I am on is Mattermost. Now, for those of you that don't know Mattermost, it's kind of like Slack, right? However, it's open source, and I get to have as many messages as I want. I can have messages dating back up to about a year, and it doesn't matter because all that data is actually saved on my servers. So first of all, I guess I should also indicate that I am running Mattermost on a VPS, right? And let's say a 24/7 live server. And if you're wondering what hosting platform I'm using, I tend to use Vultr. All right. I would love to illustrate to you what Vultr is, so take a look at it. Okay, guys, this is Vultr. So this is where I get my VPSs from. The reason I get them from here is because they are reliable. It's pretty easy. It's no nonsense. It's in America. They have, they even have locations in Africa. So if you need your server close to you, if you're in Africa or maybe if you're in Asia, you have that capability here. Their prices are pretty competitive. This is definitely not Hetzner prices. I have no idea how Hetzner does it. I'm going to show you guys Hetzner. For some odd reason, Hetzner seemed to have very cheap Hetzner, if I can spell correctly. Hetzner. All right, guys, this is Hetzner. Yes, they have extremely cheap hosting. I have no idea how they do it. It's probably subsidized by something, or these computers are just very cheap to make or cheap to manufacture. So if you're looking for really cheap, this is where you get it from. If you're looking for American, reliable, stable, I get it from, I'm going to share my screen again because unfortunately close the tab. I get it from Vultr. All right, let's get back to our diagram. All right, so on top of my VPS is Mattermost, right? Like I told you, Mattermost is just like Slack. If you don't know what Slack is, you can Google it. But it's a tool that allows you to collaborate with multiple members all in one chat. It's kind of like a WhatsApp group. So typically it's for teams and companies, right? That's the primary target of, let's say both of these platforms, Mattermost and Slack. Now, if you're looking to install Mattermost, it's pretty easy. I would suggest the best way to do it, and I'm going to show you guys since I am the creator of the plugin after all. Let's head over to the documentation and I'll show you the best way to do it. So this is the OpenClaw documentation. The best way to do it is to install it by source, okay? For some odd reason, I think there are some problems with the NPM package. I'm gonna try and fix that over the weekend. But if you do install it from source, it's very easy. So what you do is after you install, you know what? Let me walk you guys through it. It's pretty easy. Let me see if I can open up a terminal and show you guys how this works. All right. Now, this is a little advanced. If you don't understand what a terminal is, if you don't understand what, I'm about to do, don't worry about it. Join the community. The rest of the guys are going to, find a way to help you. I'll be there. There's going to be other people that have done this before, and don't feel shy to ask a question. We'll be there to support you. Okay.
Sensational.
All right, let me fire up a terminal and just kind of walk you through this process. It's very simple. However, sometimes if you've never done it before, it can be a little bit daunting. All right, so I will try to share the terminal next. One in the chat if you're following so far. One in the chat. One in the chat if you're following so far. One in the chat. One in the chat if you are following. I need to stop sharing the screen and share a new one. All right. Hope you guys can see my terminal. All right. So I'm going to come in and clone the source code. Okay. You can actually run OpenClaw from the source code. So you just go into your terminal, and then you put a git clone, and then you clone the source code. So it's actually going to clone the source code. It just takes a brief moment. After cloning the source code, when you go into set source code, you have to run a couple commands. You have to run pnpm install, and then after building, you can configure. Right now, I'm just going to let's wait for this. The reason I'm showing you this is because, maybe you have Mattermost set up, or you know how to set up Mattermost. If you don't know how to set up Mattermost, I'll have a tutorial inside of the community in just no time, so you can see how this works. But it's fairly simple. The installation of the plugin, I have noticed, is more reliable if you install it from source rather than if you install it from the distribution channels. I'm going to fix that potentially with the core team this weekend, so the distribution channels would be more reliable. So go into the folder, pnpm install as usual. We're going into a little bit more detail today. Please pardon me. But this is pretty important if you want to, first of all, install Mattermost and, go through the process that I'm going through. Now, I told you guys things are going to get easier over time, and I mean that. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm here in the Bay Area. I'm meeting up with some friends, I'm meeting up with some people, and we have some amazing things in store for you guys. Yeah, we're looking to make this entire process very easy, because there's no reason why in 2026 all of this setup has to happen through a terminal. Unfortunately, Peter Steinberger, the creator, he's a big he's big on terminal and the CLI, and he's big on technical setups and stuff like that. But I think he's done his part, and it's basically up to us, the rest of the community, and those of us that actually have the capability to build software to help you guys, right, who are non-technical, or even if you are technical, it just saves you time, and potentially help you set up Mattermost, which I believe is the best platform you could potentially use OpenClaw on. Not just because I built it, because I use it every day and I use it with my team. And secondly, because of the convenience, and you guys saw what we did 48 hours ago. It was phenomenal. So anyways, after you've done this, the next command is pnpm build. All right, so pnpm build, and then from there, all you have to do is pnpm OpenClaw configure. Now when you're configuring, and then you go over to the I'm going to skip every single configuration and just let's do that. So pnpm configure, sorry, there's got to be OpenClaw here. OpenClaw pnpm configure. All right. So once the configuration application starts up, we will choose to configure the channels. All right, don't worry about it. I'm assuming the reason why it failed is because we probably have OpenClaw already set up. So I'm just going to go to OpenClaw configure. It's the same thing. Just go to OpenClaw configure. All right, I have me some errors here. I am not going to fix this error because we do not have time for that. I will try to log into another server that potentially has, exactly what I'm talking about. So I will be sharing yet another screen, okay? Some of these errors are just not worth fixing. Yeah, in my opinion. I'm not going to chase it. We cannot, spend this live fixing errors. We need to spend the live doing vibe coding. Yep. And guys, this is one of the reasons why, sometimes working with OpenClaw can be frustrating, because it's just so brittle, right? I think early this week I launched it's called Claude Arena. I hope you guys checked it out. If you didn't check it out, please check it out. There's a whole bunch of hosting services there, services that actually make it easy. You just go there, you click on one of them, and you get like a VPS to host your platform on. It's pretty much that simple. All right, so I am going to go on my Tracy server. I'm going to log in as the user that's got my setup. And yeah, I'll just show you guys. All right, so forget about this error. I'm going off screen with that. I'm going to show you guys a working setup. I'm sure I was doing something weird and somehow forgot to update my configuration file, but that's neither here nor there. I want to show you Termius. Okay, give me a second, guys. How do I make this? You know what? I'm just going to share my entire screen. I think it just helps, right? All right, guys. I hope you can see. So what you do is go to just type OpenClaw. Probably for me, it's not OpenClaw, but configure. For you, it's going to be OpenClaw. Okay. Just come in here, go to channels, go to configure, and when you choose Mattermost, do not choose from npm. There's going to be a third option here that says local. Okay. All right. So let's get back. Let's get back to our little diagram. All right. We are back at our diagram. Thank you for following along. Thank you for sticking around. Okay. Bless me. All right. So on top of Mattermost, we've got OpenClaw, as usual. Now, OpenClaw is our intelligent AI system. Inside of OpenClaw, we've got our LLM. Now, most of you are probably asking what LLM I use. I've said it several times. I use Codex, right, from OpenAI. Okay. Now, the reason I do this is because it's a little cheaper than Anthropic. If you can afford Anthropic's, sorry about that. If you can afford Anthropic's APIs,
it's 12 o'clock.
Go right ahead. Guys, give me a second. I think I need to take this one. Please give me a second, guys. This might be an emergency. I need to take this. thank you guys for being so accommodative. It was not an emergency, thankfully. But we cool. Don DeMarco to you guys. Thanks for staying with me here. But let's continue. All right. So I was saying that we're using Codex because for me it's cheaper, but you can also use Anthropic if you want. Let's look at the configuration, right? So I'm gonna try and log it into that specific server, Atasa server, and I'm gonna see if I can show you the config, and I guess we can continue. We can continue vibe coding. So give me a second here. Let me see if I can log into Atasa's config and kind of show you guys. Give me a second. All right. If only I can remember. Okay, so I have this thing here. So I'm gonna have to find a way to share Termius with you guys. For some odd reason, it just doesn't want to share. It's crazy. All right, I'm gonna restart the Termius application. And by the way, Termius is a terminal emulator that I like to use because it allows me to keep track of all of my VPSs. Let's see if I can create a new window. Okay, so yeah, once again, I'm probably gonna have to share my entire screen. So yeah, sorry guys, I don't have an extra screen today. I just have one screen. So I am gonna have to share this one. All right. So we are going into the state directory. All right, let me see if I can share this with you. Hopefully it's completely innocuous. Well, I do have some secrets in here, so I am going to garble them before I share them with you, okay? Please bear with me. Garble. I really want to share this with you so you'll see, but I also have to do this safely. So please bear with me. I'm about to show you the internals of the InkKit Aho server, okay? Yeah, I'm making sure these things are garbled. So, even if you tried to connect somehow, it would fail. Thank you. Please bear with me.
A few moments later.
Please bear with me. Please bear with me. I need to garble these secrets so you cannot log into Atasa and mess with it. You never know who's going to find this video. So you got to stay safe, guys. Stay safe. I want to do this for you guys so you can visualize exactly how my configuration looks like, okay? All right. I think I'm ready to share with you guys. So one's in the chat if you're ready to see it. One's in the chat. All right. If you're ready to see it. It's the internet, bro. It's the internet. I trust you guys. If this was somehow exclusively on the school community, I trust each and every one of you on the school community. If you join the school community, you have my trust automatically, okay? I'll hop on a Zoom call with you or a Google Meet, and I'll share to some degree, right? But we are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Kick. You know the platform I'm scared of the most? Kick. I don't use Kick, but Anyways, all right. One's in the chat if you want to see my config. All right, so this is specifically for you, okay? This is specifically for you, Amon. I want you to, just visualize exactly how this looks like. So whenever you're configuring it yourself, you'll be able to figure it out. All right, let me present my screen. This time I'm going to show my entire screen because somehow there is no way I can show this to you guys without sharing my entire screen. So let's go. All right, so there it is. All right. So here you've got my, here it says claudebot.json because, I'm from the past. But for you, it should say OpenClaw. As you can see, my default model is OpenAI ChatGPT 5.2 Codex. I am not on 5.3 yet. 5.2 seems to do it for me. What else do we have here? I have elevated mode set up. Now, these are the things I needed to garble, right? But these are basically individual user IDs and then the names of certain channels that are allowed to run certain elevated commands on this server. Now, remember, sorry about that. Remember oh no. Okay, somehow this is not working. All right. All right. So sorry about that. W2 mom. Mom is somehow calling me. Yeah. I think I just sent her a message. She's cool. All right. So these are the configurations, or let's say like the IDs of like certain channels. And, this is YOLO mode, right? Only do this when you really understand the risks. And as you can see, I have my Mattermost configuration here. I intentionally took out my bot token so you couldn't see it. But yeah, this is pretty much it. So you can definitely pause this part of the video and just kind of look at my model. You can look at the tool section. You can look at the exec section. Be careful with this though, okay? If you want to do this, make sure you understand the risks and you have made sure there are only certain individuals that can actually pull this off, all right? Okay, so this is pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. All right, I will definitely make a full tutorial about this on the, okay, what do I mean by elevated? So some commands on Linux require super user access, okay? Now, the best way to explain this is, administrator access. So in order to, let's say, start a service on a port, right? In order to start a service on a port, you need administrator access. In order to start up a firewall, you need administrator access. So you'll notice that Atasa is able to, create subdomains. That is something only administrators can do, right? So that's why we have elevated access. Okay, guys, let's get to the vibe coding. We have just 20 minutes more for the show. Somehow this turned into a configuration stream, but I'm always happy to steer the direction of the stream with you guys. So W's in the chat for all of you that needed to see this. So I am going to share my screen again, and let's look at Atasa. Even though we've got his internals open, I'm not going to save it. We're just going to go ahead and continue from where we left off. All right. So I am going to go back to share screen. I'm going to scroll to Atasa. And then I am going to share him. Okay, so this is just a little recap, okay? So what we decided to do was get Atasa to clone a website called Ravi.ai. I shared this the last time with you guys that, there's a guy called Dominic, I think he's in Austria, and he's trying to create this 3D, simulation of AI agents. And I think it's really cool. You guys can check it out. And we were essentially trying to clone that. So back here at Atasa, we gave him access to, Ravi's website, and, Atasa was able to load the website. He checked it and was like, okay, I get it. And then we told, Atasa that, okay, we only care about the 3D part of it, and that we wanted to create, a 3D animation and deploy that onto a subdomain, right? So if you remember, the elevated tool calling that I spoke to you about, this is exactly, where that comes up, right? So the reason Atasa was not able to deploy on the subdomain because this, let's say, session or this channel that I'm on was not part of the list of channels that I have allowed to run administrative commands on the server. I'll teach this in more detail in a separate tutorial, but that's what you need to set this up. So it deployed it on 3dgame.inkitaho. So if I share this, you'll notice that we have this little 3D avatar thing here. It can walk, it can run, and it can dance, right? Which I think is amazing. So we really don't have a lot of vibing time today. So I'm going to go back and we're going to ask it to, do a couple of things. Okay. Let me head back to Atasa and let's talk to Atasa. All right, let's go like, hey, Atasa, are you there? I think we want to continue building the game. We want to continue building 3dgame.inkitaho.com. All right, so as usual, Atasa's typing. Perfect. All right, so somehow it's got the subdomain wrong. So you know what? I am just going to ask it to, hey, Atasa, it's actually deployed here rather, okay? I think you should check your, memory, check the messages from the past, and you should be able to remember what we did from 48 hours ago. Thank you. Now, this is a very important concept. I'm glad, this is coming up. OpenClaw is set up to remember just a little bit from the past, not everything from the past. So sometimes you have to, explicitly tell it, right? Even now, when I tell it to go back and, pick it up from 48 hours ago, it says, I didn't save any information regarding this. So one thing that I like to do all the time, and I think one of the community members definitely asked this question, and I told them that anytime you want your bot to remember something, please, the easiest way to do it is to tell it, hey, please remember this inside your agents.md file, okay? Now, when you tell the bot this, the bot will always remember it. So what I want you to remember is that the link to the game is as follows. Perfect. So what's going to happen is the bot is going to go into its file and then modify it. So it says, I've modified my agents.md file and I have saved this as the link. So I'm not going to bother you guys with that detail. We're just going to jump right in and ask it to do something else. So I'm going to ask it to do something different. I'm going to ask it to make the robot a red robot, and let's see if it does it. Okay, something very basic first, and then we're going to go into something a little bit more complicated. So, all right, Atasa, could you make this a red robot? There's a robot in this game. I want you to make it red. Can you do that? Now, if you're wondering how on earth I am talking to Atasa and it's, learning from me, okay. there's a product I'm using called Willow Voice. You can download it and use it as well. All right. So it doesn't even remember where the code is, right? This is crazy. So I'm going to go in and say, hey, Atasa, could you check your workspace directory? The code is definitely there. Just check it, okay? I know you're a smart guy. And remember, we're live, so be on your best behavior. All right. All right. Let's see if it decides to search the workspace directory and locate it. So currently it's trying to locate the folder so it can continue coding. It's crazy, but you know, that's what you get out of the box. So later on, I'm going to show you guys, you know, a way to give your bot persistent memory, right? And then there's also a way, and remember I told you guys, one of my partners, Aditya, I always mention his name. He's built something very amazing that once you install into your OpenClaw, it's able to actually learn and it doesn't make these weird mistakes. So W's in the chat for Aditya, and hopefully in the coming days or the coming weeks, I will definitely have that in the community. Remember, I'm going to put it up on the screen again. If you're not a part of the community, I'm going to put it up. Join us at mba.sh. That's where you'll be able to get this juicy information. All right. So it says, done. I've made the robot red by updating the model. All right. So let's go over and see. Is the robot red? You got to be kidding me. All right. So I'm sure it made it red, but it probably forgot to redeploy it. That's crazy. Oh, it's actually asking us whether, come on. Atasa, could you always redeploy whenever you make a change and store this in your agents.md so I don't have to tell you again? Thank you. All right. So Atasa is going to redeploy it. So we have our red robot. So Atasa's working as usual. We've got 10 minutes. I'm going to allow for you guys to give me the next prompt. So if you are watching, put in the comments exactly what you want Atasa to do next. What do you want Atasa to do next? He's making the robot red. Can you put in the chat exactly what you want Atasa to do next? I'm going to wait for you guys, okay? I want you guys to determine what the next move is going to be. What should Atasa do? And we're basically going to end on that note. All right. I am waiting for you guys in the chat. Let me know exactly what you want Atasa to do next. All right. Anything at all. Let's see. Let's give it a challenge. So it says red robot should be live. We're going to take a look at it, guys. But before we do that, let me know in the chat what we should do next. Oh my God. The entire robot is red. Ay, ay, ay. I am scared of this. All right. I think we can make it do some dancing. All right. Let me know in the chat. If you're watching from YouTube, this is your opportunity to steer the direction of the show, steer the direction of the website. I'm going to drop the link to the website inside of the chat so you could follow along. It's called the 3dgame.inkitaho.com. Okay, thank you. And I am going to check your prompt for prompt injection. All right, so All right, so it says, I want you to put a moving face with expression on the robot. Please write 4 prompts to make you achieve this. Don't do anything yet. All right. All right, man. I got you. So I'm literally gonna read it out to the bot, right? Let me see if I can just grab this as a picture. Nice. And head over to the tab. Let me open it up. I want you to put a moving face with expression on the robot. Please write 4 prompts to make you achieve this. Don't do anything yet. Pretty interesting prompt. Pretty interesting. So let's see. All right. So we've got locate the robots, in the code base and identify the head. Okay. Summarize the exact node names so we can target them. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So add a face overlay. Okay. Nice. Hey, I'm going to go right ahead and put it in. I am, curious. All right, Atasa, go ahead and do this. I am super curious. I am super, super, super curious how this turns out. All right. Okay, so we are about to bring this live to an end very soon. Unfortunately, I have just an hour with you guys. I am going to be active inside of the school community. We can definitely chat more. I'm in the Bay Area, so if any of you are actually here, you can actually DM me. I can actually meet you in person. We can actually have a face-to-face conversation. If that tickles your fancy. Other than that, I'm going to be setting up the classroom. I know the classroom inside of school has been empty. It's only because we've been, preparing the production for you guys. I've been doing a lot of recording. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes so that we can make sure you have like a good catalog. So you could always point to that. The lives are always going to be there. The lives are always going to be interesting. As a matter of fact, very soon, potentially the next live, we're going to be having a special guest, and we're probably going to be live or vibe coding something together, right, in real time. And I really look forward to that. Don DeMarco, to whoever that guest is going to be. Okay, so it says I've done all 4 steps and redeployed. I really wonder what it has done. What have you done? Hey, where's the facial expressions? Come on. All right, let's go back and read. All right, so I'm looking at it. It's like no facial expressions, bro. All right, let's see. So what I've added, every 2 seconds. All right, so I think because the bot is red, we can't see it. Could you please make the head of the robot like a separate color? And could you give me like controls on the side so I can actually manually trigger these animations or like whatever expression cycle that you've created? All right, please do that so we can actually see it in real time. All right, remember, you're live, so be on your best behavior. All right. So I just, gave it like a follow-up prompt. Hopefully it does the right thing, because for some odd reason, I wasn't seeing any facial expressions. There are no facial expressions here. Or there are. I can't tell. It just has eyes. It probably doesn't have a nose. So probably just the eyebrows and maybe the eyes that could potentially move. But yeah, Anyways, let's get back to our brief little discussion. Like I was saying, the next streams are going to be pretty interesting. However, I know that we need to have like more recorded content for you guys so you guys can, like go through the tutorials, whenever you have the time. I know not everybody's going to be available at this time. I'm so thankful you guys have been so patient and you guys have literally stayed with the entire team throughout the past 2 weeks. It's only going to get better from here. Also, let me know your thoughts and your suggestions inside of the community. What we can do to improve the quality of the show, what we can do to improve the quality of your experience. And always don't forget, invite a friend, invite somebody to this live so we can all learn exactly how we can make the most of this amazing technology. Let's see. Okay, so it says I am done. All right, so it says the head is now a different color. All right, okay. All right, let's see if that is actually the case. No way, the head isn't a different color. You got to be kidding me. Okay, so can you see what it did? This is crazy. So it actually created a separate plane with a face and a smile with a oh, you've got to be kidding me. All right, the face goes on the robot, not like in the sky. That's crazy. All right. In moments like these, I like to correct the model, but I'll tell you something. Codex might not be the best at Three.js, right? Maybe Anthropic is much better. The next live that we're going to have in terms of vibe coding, we're going to be using Anthropic because I believe it's way better at front end. I've tested it recently and I think it's much, much better. But anyways, this is what we have for the prompt that we gave it. Anyways, it's about 30 seconds away from our closing period. Thank you guys for making it to this live. I know we're ending it, a little bit too soon. Unfortunately, I have another meeting after this. I'm glad you guys were able to make it to this one. I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to join these lives. I'm going to do these lives rain or shine, whether I'm happy or sad, whether I am, in the West Coast or the East Coast or the Midwest. So it's always a pleasure to have you guys with me. Don DeMarco to each and every one of you that joined the live today. Thank you so much. Until next time, peace out. All right.